Hey, cat campers, it's Ellen, aka the Cat LVT, coming you from the holiday version of Cat Camp. Many thanks to Cat Camp for inviting me to come speak about vaccines, which right now, yeah, we're in the middle of a pandemic and we have an emergency vaccine coming out. But what does that entail for our kitty cat friends? Well, I actually had the pleasure of sitting down with the American Feline Practitioners Association as well as the American Animal Hospital Association to be on their task force to update the feline vaccination guidelines. And there are actually very specific changes that we have made to make your cats healthier, but also to make vaccination a lot easier to understand for our pet parents and for shelters, rescues, etc. So what we actually did was we recategorized many of the cats as pet cats, shelter cats, TNR cats. We put them in there too, cattery cats, and foster cats. So what we're doing is we're actually changing the risk assessments for these guys, making sure that you understand what's a high risk animal versus a low risk animal. At the end of the day, it's between you and your veterinarian to determine what's considered a high risk versus a low risk. Vaccines, of course, need to be given every 2 to 4 weeks for the little kittens and boosted every year to every 3 years for adult cats. But based on the clinical experience and the consensus of the expert opinion, you know, we've actually made new tables for everybody to understand it very clearly. And it is publicly accessible for you to understand it. The main vaccine that everybody always wants to talk about, especially when it comes to fosters, shelter cats, and the cattery cats, is that distemper vaccine, which you might get in the mail from your veterinarian, that little annoying postcard that says your pet is due for the FVRCP. Well, what is the FVRCP? Well, it's all the important upper respiratory viruses as well as that panleukopenia virus. And all of these viruses are highly virulent, especially in the kittens that do not have a very good immune system, especially when we're looking at shelter kittens or foster kittens, especially the ones that do not have moms and they're considered orphaned, or the kittens that have an immune compromised mom. Those kittens are considered high risk and actually desperately need those vaccines because the maternal antibodies are really not going to be there since they actually gather them from the colostrum within the first 24 hours of life. So every 2 to 4 weeks, we're going to be boostering those. And then what we're going to be doing as well is boosting them up until they're 16 weeks of age. So you're going to be visiting us quite a bit at the veterinary office, almost to the point that you feel like you're going to be living there and need a frequent flyer punch card. What we've changed is instead of boosting that vaccine at a year of age, we're going to boost that vaccine now at 6 months because there actually has been a few studies that they've noticed that a third of the kittens out there that have been boosted up until 16 weeks of age, including up to 20 weeks of age, fail to have responded to the final vaccine. So instead of waiting for them to be a year old after that last 16 weeks vaccine, we're going to go ahead and boost them at the 6-month marker to make sure that that last vaccine is actually taken effect. And then we can go ahead and make the determination on whether or not it's a year or every 3 years that your cat can be vaccinated. So it's all about lifestyle with your veterinarian. So other than that, rabies vaccine is going to be consistent. It is still either a 1-year or 3-year vaccine, depending upon manufacturer. And also, you know, you need to make sure that you are actually making sure that your pets in your household are actually vaccinated first before you bring any other feline home into your in your house while you are taking care of everybody. Other than that, there really hasn't been that much significant changes, but you can go online, check out what we've done, and see whether or not what category you guys fall into. I hope you enjoy seeing the 2020 feline vaccine guidelines. And, you know, you should be seeing your vet up until 16, 20 weeks of age, making sure your kittens are healthy. What we're going to be talking about later in life is the senior cat, which vaccines, yeah, are an important part of it as well. So we just basically go from there. There are really no major changes other than the distemper vaccine that we have seen with these little guys in the future. So I hope you join me and Jackson in the next few sessions to talk about senior cats, and we're going to go from there. But in the meantime, I want you to enjoy the next upcoming sessions.